resistance notes August 1, 2022. Junta troops throw themselves to slaughter by Karen forces. Ethnic regions. In Kathoulai Dupla district, Mayawadi township on Burmese maps, the Karen Venom Battalion is reporting a huge 3-day battle at Shui Miring village near Ukrita, on the Mayawadi-Vorvlay road that has been the theatre of intense Junta attacks and defeats since December 2021. July the 28th to the 30th, Junta troops stationed at Ukrita tried to break out up the road to join forces with reinforcements coming south from Mayawadi at Palu. The Ukrita troops have been stranded and cut off by Karen forces. At Shuai Miring they repeatedly tried to break out but were cut down each time by the Karen Venom Battalion. Venom claims that between 80 and 100 Junta troops were killed as they charged through the cornfields into Karen fire. 3 Karen Venom soldiers and a member of the Line Battalion were also killed and 7 Venom were wounded. Meanwhile, the Junta column advancing south from Mayawadi was defeated by Karen Army Cobra Battalion, so there is currently no prospect of rescuing the survivors from the Ukrita camp, of which there may be very few. The southward moving Junta column attacked at 3-story Bend but was repulsed with many casualties and fled. In such a situation the Junta usually responds with aerial bombing, but may be discouraged in this case by the June 30th violation of Thai airspace by a Burmese jet flown by a Russian pilot, which obliged the Junta to formally apologize to the Thai government. In Karenni region, Junta troops have again invaded Mobai town, southern Shan state on Burmese maps, and local defense forces are warning the public about imminent fighting. The Progressive Karenni People's Force published conflict statistics for Karenni region during the 18 months since the coup. In 390 clashes, 1,451 Junta troops have been killed so far, as well as 147 Karenni soldiers and 255 civilians killed by weapons fire. 54 military vehicles were damaged or captured, 157 airstrikes were launched, 38 civilians were killed while fleeing the fighting, 260 people were kidnapped by the junta, over 250,000 people are displaced by the junta violence and are living as refugees, dependent on an inadequate supply of donated food, medications, and shelter materials. Junta Scorched Earth Village Terrorism Campaign. The junta is repeating its helicopter-borne invasion tactic in villages on the border between Ayador and Manmu townships in Sagaing region today. While attack helicopters strafed Lek Panjin and Thatay Cone villages, transport helicopters dropped about 80 troops. This surprise tactic traps civilians in their villages, often leading to massacres in addition to the usual looting and burning of houses. In Manmu Township, a junta village destruction gang attacked Gonin Set village on July 30th, and a local PDF moved in for a counterattack, killing 5 troops before the junta seized villages and used them as human shields. 2 PDF fighters received slight injuries from junta mortar fire. The PDF shot down a junta surveillance drone. The troops then burned the houses and cars of the village, and witnesses say some villagers were murdered. The next day, yesterday, the troops moved on and destroyed Nyamite village. In Yu Township, troops attacked Tintanian village for the past 3 days, looting valuables, burning it to the ground, destroying over 100 homes, many businesses, and 4 rice mill operations, as Tintanian is in Burma's rice belt. Residents had advance notice and fled ahead of the invasion. By destroying food-producing communities, the junta is slashing the country's capacity to feed itself.
People's Defense Forces PDFs. In Sagaing region, a PDF in Kinu Township drone bombed a camp yesterday housing 60 junta and Paiu Saw Hati thugs who block local roads and extort money from travelers. 7 bombs were dropped on the camp, penetrating roofs and damaging buildings, but the number of casualties isn't known. Similarly, a PDF in Shongu Township used drone bombs to kill 4 troops yesterday from a village destruction terror squad. In Shwebo Township, a PDF assassinated a local junta administrator in a Dalan yesterday. In Mandalay region, a PDF drone bombed junta troops 3 times at Yelejun village yesterday, killing 5 of them. Junta troops twice raided a PDF camp in Thasi Township on July 24 and 29, where weapons and ammunition are manufactured. Battles resulted in which 2 junta troops were killed the first time, and 10 more died from stepping on landmines the second time. Then the PDF had to retreat, losing some food, landmines, and ammunition. 1 PDF fighter is missing. In Magway town, people protested the coup last night by banging pots and pans. In retaliation, junta troops closed the city market this morning and didn't allow vendors or shoppers in. Bombings in News, Shan State and Pound, Bago region caused several injuries and fatalities among junta troops and police today. Urban warfare in Mandalay, junta troops stormed a rented house today and kidnapped about 10 youths who may be members of an urban guerrilla group. In Monowa City, the Dalan whose informing led to the kidnapping and torture of protest leader Ko Yemo 9 last year was identified by a Monowa PDF and was assassinated yesterday. Civil Disobedience Movement CDM. A Japanese documentary filmmaker has been kidnapped by the junta in Yangon. In the wake of the junta's murder by hanging of 4 pro-democracy activists on July 23, this abduction sets up an international incident of vital concern. There is more on the story of the Putolan power plant in Kyor, Magway region, reported yesterday. The disappearance of the entire staff is due to a mass arrest made by the Your Defense Force PDF at the plant. The YDF had warned staff to join the civil disobedience movement and stop working for the junta, but they ignored the warning, so the YDF raided the plant and arrested 40 of them, confiscating 4 vehicles and a weapon as well. The power plant is currently shut down for lack of staff. The gas pipeline that connects Burma's offshore oil and gas field in the Andaman Sea to the PTTEP oil company in Thailand was blown up today at the Kanpok pumping station in Morn State. The Thai PTTEP company is one of the last foreign companies still supporting the junta with oil and gas revenues after the French firm Total, the American Chevron, the Malaysian Petronas all pulled out post-coup. The junta awarded itself 6 additional months of illegitimate rule, now extending well into 2023 and postponing the planned sham elections indefinitely. The junta only rules about half of the country at present, and that proportion may shrink considerably by 2023.